It's a bad man's world. It's a bad man's world. It's a bad man's world.
Hey guys, today's video is about the only time when a player in an NBA game committed more than the usual 6 personal fouls. How referees and scorekeepers even allowed it. In the initial NBA rulebook back in 1946, it was intended for a player to be allowed 5 personal fouls, but after only one season NBA increased the foul number from 5 to 6. Nothing has changed even today. Very simple, a player commits 6 personal fouls, by the rulebook he has to leave the court and on that evening he can go back on the floor. But on only one specific occasion, actions went down a little bit differently. I believe that the match on November 13, 1999 between Atlanta Hawks and Portland Trail Blazers will leave a mark in NBA history that will never be touched. Player for the Atlanta Hawks with the number 3 on his chest, Cal Bowdler, for the first and only time during the modern basketball era exceeded 6 personal foul threshold. Cal attended Rappahannock High School in Warsaw, Virginia. Bowdler was lightly recruited as a high school athlete and in the end committed to play for Old Dominion University. Cal spent the full ride in college from 1995 till 1999, having a great individual and team success. He earned first team All-CAA honors as a senior, leading Old Dominion to a 25-8 record. A 2-time CAA All-Defensive selection, Bowdler led the CAA in both rebounding and blocked shots in 1998 and also 1999. He was seen as a defensive stopper and just overall high motor player in the NBA with some rim rolling ability. After impressive pre-draft workouts, he was considered as a solid first rounder, with the ability to attend the green room in the draft, which he declined, and watch the draft at home. Bowdler had no prior knowledge that he would be selected by the Atlanta Hawks, and was left with a little reaction. If I was going to go in the first round at all, I thought it would be Indiana or Utah. Both of these teams had multiple picks in the mid to late first round that year. It was his rookie season, 1999-2000. Just a 7th game against the very competitive Portland Trail Blazers. That season Atlanta won only 28 games, Portland went to the Western Conference Finals and pushed Kobe's and Shaq's Lakers to 7 games. So yeah, a blowout was expectable. At the halftime, Atlanta already had over 30-point deficit, and the garbage time was set to begin. Bowdler entered into play at 3.5 minutes from the end of the 3rd quarter. The rookie took his first whistle just a minute later. Bowdler started the 4th quarter with 2 new fouls in 2 minutes. Then it was Bonzi Wells and Greg Anthony's turn to blame the Hawks' strong winger, who now had 5. At 2 minutes and 50 seconds from the end of the match, Jermaine O'Neal caused Cal Bowdler's 6th foul and got the and-one bonus. Supposed to be excluded, the interior of Atlanta finally took the advantage of the lack of attention of the referees and officials at the scorer's table to stay in play, before concluding his so-called masterpiece with his 7th and last foul still on Jermaine O'Neal 2 minutes later. Cal left the floor for good 50 seconds before the end of the game. Upon arrival, Cal Bowdler finished with an improbable stat sheet: 2 points, 2 rebounds and 7 fouls in 15 minutes. In history, no other has counted as many fouls as the former Hawks winger since the 1954-55 season and the introduction of the 24-second clock. To be fair, there were 2 interesting moments in 2010 involving Cal's draft year companion Devin George and 2014 with Robert Sacre, but these stories I will leave for another time. Let me know in the comments if you would like to see a video about these 2 occasions. But the game concluded with the Hawks' road defeat 95-131, and I couldn't find any information about who was the scorekeeper who incorrectly identified the 6th and 7th fouls. But nonetheless, this was a forgettable night for the Hawks team and the man who didn't do his job right. As for Cal Bowdler, this will stay as by far the most memorable moment in his NBA career. He was drafted 17th in front of players like Andrei Kirilenko and James Posey, who had far more impactful careers. Cal spent only 3 seasons in the NBA, all for Atlanta Hawks, averaging 9.7 minutes, 3 points, 1.9 rebounds through 142 games. Never started in any games, considered as one of the worst 17 picks in NBA history, and in 2011 ranked as the 5th worst Atlanta Hawks draft pick ever by Bleacher Report. and honestly, just one of the most forgettable players in NBA history, to put it lightly. In the NBA, Bowdler was amazed by the natural talent and athletic ability of his peers, and also intended to take his own game to the highest level possible. Off the court, he described himself as a very rich, very young, a bad combination. Unfortunately, Bowdler and Atlanta Hawks were another bad combination. The team was on a downturn after 7 consecutive postseason runs, and Bowdler wasn't getting much playing time. He also faced injuries. With no further guarantees, Bowdler signed with an Italian team, Montepaschi Siena, in 2002. After the NBA career, he spent years as a radio and TV analyst for basketball, worked in the Hawks marketing department, but now is involved in the film industry. And looking at his Instagram account, it doesn't seem like he's too bothered by his little success on the court and somewhat infamous NBA record. Nevertheless, Bowdler's play during the evening of 1999 is an accomplishment that will never be broken, because there are too many people keeping track of every little detail in game nowadays. Cal Bowdler gets 7 personal fouls because of a referee error and miscalculation. This achievement will never be erased from Cal's career and NBA history books. If you enjoyed this video and like more basketball content, I would greatly appreciate you subscribing to the channel and leaving a like down below. HT out.